It seems like these days we all have hundreds of things we need to get done in a given week. I don't know where they've all come from and why the world seems so much faster these days, but we definitely seem like we're overwhelmed and it's just hard to get all those basic things done, leaving us at the end of the day with a feeling of just being overwhelmed and wondering where the heck did all the time go. Most of us feel like we finish our work week and we just had a swirl of activity, but never really got anything important done. Do you ever feel like that? We're living in a really distracted world that continues to take our time away. There are so many things that are vying for our time, and it just diminishes our focus. With all these distractions and noise and people vying for our time, it's just hard to get things done at the end of the week, and we end up feeling exhausted and depleted and just hoping we can start afresh the next week. But there are some simple strategies that you can do to work to get things done. To start with, you have to manage your time or others will manage it for you. What I mean by this is with electronic calendars and things like Microsoft Office, it's really easy to use a busy search type of function or just fill in people's calendars without even really getting their permission. To work against this, we have to block out time and space to get your work done. Have you ever worked 40 hours a week just to find out that all you've done is sit in meetings for 40 plus hours and you need another 20 hours just to start getting your work done? I'll tell you, this happens to me a lot. So you have to plan your time and put blocks on your calendars to actually schedule work. We don't do this very well because it feels like maybe we're not getting as much done. But you have to actually put blocks on your own calendar for specific projects, block out time to get it done. You can't just wait for it to happen at the end of the week or it will pile up and spill over into your weekend or worse, take away from your family time or your important time to work on yourself. So make time to get things done. Also, plan time in between meetings. One of the things that we've lost, especially with the continuous use of things like WebEx, Zoom, and Microsoft Teams, is that we can have virtual meetings back to back to back all day long. It's easy to have 8 hours of meetings and never have even a bathroom break. The problem with this is that we've lost the hallway conversations, all those little touch points that are important that we need to move projects along, all the little political things, the private conversations, all the ways that we would connect with one another as human beings have really been lost. So now we try to squeeze it in at the end of the day and it just doesn't get done and it makes work a lot harder. So put time in between meetings. Wrap up the previous meeting a few minutes early, write your lists down, get ready for the next meeting, or pull that person in quickly to have that conversation that you normally would have in the hallway in between meetings. We have all been working on the art of the to-do list for decades in many cases. Most of the time we overestimate what we can get done in a given day or week. One of the strategies that I use is to really focus on those 2 or 3 things in a day that are vital to get done. Often, those 2 or 3 things have 2 or 3 additional contingencies or even 10 things associated with them, whether it's a conversation, something sensitive, a little organization you need to do, or things that need to be worked out before I can even complete the task which I write down on my to-do list in the first place. And it makes it much more timely than we anticipate. We're often not very good at estimating the totality of the task and all the contingencies associated with it. Put them on your schedule, make enough time, make sure you add enough extra time to get things done so you absolutely know you can be finished in the time frame. Otherwise, you're going to run over, you're not going to get things done, and it's going to roll over to the next week's to-do list, and it's going to feel like you're overwhelmed even more than you were when you started. Finally, another basic tip to use is at the end of your day, start to really think about and write down and put on your schedule those things that you want to prioritize for the next day. Really prioritize the 2 or 3 things that matter, not everything, not the exhaustive to-do list. There's always 1,000 things we can want to do, but those 2 or 3 things that are really going to move you forward, write them down, calendar them, and have them ready at the end of the day so you can start to think about them overnight. If you do this before you leave the office and straighten up your desk, it psychologically will put you in a place that you're just starting to wrap up the current day and start to think about the next day, and leaves you with a sense of completion and organization. And remember, make sure you calendar your to-do list. If you write it down on a piece of paper and you don't actually put it into your calendar and put it there as an appointment, people will walk all over you and trample and take away your time. Again, this has the psychological benefit of letting your brain start to work on those items at night while you're sleeping or in the shower in the morning. Sometimes those best ideas come when we're really not thinking about the things that we need to do anyway. We put them into our calendar, we know that our brain will work on them, and when you come in the morning, you'll be fresh, ready to go, organized, and know the things that you need to work on that day. I hope these few little tidbits help you maybe get your arms around your day and start to prioritize tasks a little better than those lengthy to-do lists that cause so much anxiety for everybody. These are great ways to get organized, get your time back, and start to really feel like you're taking control of your own space. Thank you so much for listening today, and I'll see you next time.